It's time to leave your cinematic troubles behind. Let the takes flow through you. And let the noise from the zeitgeist subside. Welcome to Cast Against Time.
Welcome!
Oh my God.
Cast Against Time.
I am your host, Colin J. Dixon, and I am joined by also host Matthew Odysseys Frankelstein.
Oh man, already bringing it up.
Well, it's just on the tip of everybody's tongue. We don't have to. We don't have to go there just yet. What's going on with yourself?
Nothing. You scared me with that intro. You mentioned Resolve. We were talking about editing, and I had Resolve up, and I didn't know they had so many capabilities. Maybe I'll turn into Resolve Boy.
It's the land of opportunity where free shit is involved. And you can, these days, people don't have, let's face it, people don't have the patience for their softwares. They've got, with all the AIs and such, they just do their job for you.
They got a bunch of, in the What's New tab, there's a bunch of AI tools, and they use Ezra Miller as an example. Like an image of his to age him. Out of all the people.
Miller? What became of him?
I was going to say,
last I heard from him, he was punching people in Hawaii.
No, he wasn't just punching them. He was like holding them hostage, right?
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. I mean, he's like showing up people's houses with a shotgun and stuff.
Let's see. Ezra, what is he even doing now? Yeah. My God. When you look up the news of Ezra Miller,
Is there more Ezra Miller talk? Is there
it's all
Miller buzz?
No, it's just like... there's an IMDb article that was in 2025. Yeah, there's nothing new. So this guy has been laying low.
Just done. Like is
I mean, everybody thought James Franco was, and he's coming back.
What do you mean? He's been uncanceled?
Yeah, he's joining the John Rambo prequel.
Well, who's really making that though? Is that a Sylvester Stallone thing? I mean, it's like the Stallones are shills for the man.
It's being directed by Jalmari Helander.
Okay,
I don't know who that is.
Is this a? I'm just saying, is like Ben Shapiro's production company making this?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. There's no I don't know if any production with big money is bringing him back.
Yeah, you would be a person that would know. Like, what's the deal with DC? But no, like, is all that stuff dead in the water? Like,
let me
DC
ask you, Comics?
No, like the DC movies.
No,
like, we don't like to discuss the big franchises on this show, but somehow we keep finding our way back around to them. But I am legitimately interested because like it just seems like they're already trying to put James Gunn to bed.
No, Supergirl's coming out.
I know, but it's like they're barely... Well, they are marketing it.
I was going to say, they're marketing it hard during the NBA playoffs. But that's how you know they have trust in it.
What are the odds that another Matt Reeves Batman movie actually comes out?
They just started production on it.
That doesn't mean that they've started filming it.
Yeah, they started filming
it. Can mean a lot of things.
They started filming it.
Mm-hmm.
And they got your boy...
See it.
They got your boy Sebastian Stan in it.
Well, I am a Stan. And
ScarJo.
Okay. Well, maybe less so. I'm more of a Stan.
He's playing Harvey Dent.
Matthew. How many?
Now you're back in.
For how many? Well, yeah. I took a sip of old Evan Williams, and I'm feeling better. I'm not gonna lie that I've been down. I've been low. I mean, cinematically, I've been low.
Oh.
Now, I know that we say this, it feels like we say this every year.
I don't know what you're going to say.
And sometimes there are years where Hollywood comes roaring out the gates with like that hot, with that hot tent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The hot tent pole? Oh, I know what you're saying. The hot tent. Okay. The hot lower tent.
Content. Is this like the weakest year, like the weakest first half of a year in recent memory that you can think of? Like we got...
I just had to realize that it was 5 months into the year right now.
We're halfway through, baby.
Don't say that yet. We're not halfway.
It's almost Christmas.
We got 2 weeks. Apparently some YouTuber's going to save cinema with backrooms.
What does that mean? Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks fun. Actually, it doesn't. It looks frustrating. It looks like a frustrating
I'm interested in it.
Movie.
I did not know that he got famous on YouTube. And he's like 21 years old and is now directing films.
I don't know. I can't be mad at everybody that's gained their popularity via YouTube.
I mean, it makes sense. And this is like,
at least it's not Mr. Breast.
I mean, it makes sense. I can't expect I wouldn't want any youngin to go to film school because I just think that that's a dead end now, or it's a waste of money because.
Oh well, then this is where I would differ with you. I do think that I think the younglings need to see some shit.
They don't have the money to afford film school though.
Well, hey, fair enough. Yeah, well, you can always go to the Santa Monica City College.
But what do they learn? I guess my question is, what are they learning at film school that they're not able to learn on their own now?
The patience to watch. The patience to watch a movie.
No. There's an article that I think I have locked away on our sheet that is saying that film students are not even watching films. Like there's somebody doing a study that film students do not like watching films and can't finish.
Well, then why are they pursuing film as do you understand what I'm saying here? Like,
they're
why
just
pursue
impatient.
it?
That's
like saying a writer doesn't like to read.
I think they just want to do what they want to do as fast as they can and at their own speed. And going to film school and watching old films seems boring to them, which I think is weird and backwards because you learn a lot of shit by watching film.
Hey man, I just dropped my album. I'm a fucking crazy good musician.
Oh man, did you go to music school?
Oh no,
did you listen to a lot of influences?
I don't go listening. No, I don't go listening to.
You only listen to the first 3 tracks.
No, it's bunk, man. In fact, it's bussin'. It's straight bussin'.
Bussin's good though, right?
Oh, I mean, so it's straight. It's super cap.
It's anti-bussin.
Full cap. It's anti-bussin. It's cap.
It's debussin'. It's a cap. You can't. Capping doesn't apply. It's not lying.
A cap. It's cap. It's cap. No, it's cap because you're capitulating by listening to albums. If you make music, that is. If you don't make music, you should listen to albums. You should listen to my album. Just dropped it. It's hot.
What's it called?
Goss. Spittin'.
You sound like Timothy Chalamet right now.
Listen, sometimes I just think,
Michael?
You just gotta. No, that's.
Oh no.
No, that's ignorant. No.
Why is he in a cave? God damn it.
Have you seen Michael yet?
No. But I have seen an amazing clip. So apparently, Joseph Fiennes did a Michael movie.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's made for TV or not.
I think it was made for TV. Yeah.
But it's insane. So first of all, you just have to whatever you're doing, stop listening to this, and go Google Joseph Fiennes as Michael Jackson.
It's wild
right now, and have a look at him. Just have a look and contemplate it for a little while, and go back about your day. But there's this clip, and maybe we'll post it on our socials from that film. It's making the viral rounds.
Yeah, apparently he's since said how much he regrets playing that role.
Sure, he should. But there's this great clip from it. It's like, I don't know, he has some success or something, and he's like backstage, he's like, oh my God, I'm going to remember this moment for the rest of my life. Hey, George, what's the date? September 10th, 2001. And then they hard cut to the fucking planes hitting the buildings.
Oh, man.
It's phenomenal.
Oh my God.
It's incredible.
Brian Cox played Brando in it?
That's not bad casting. He probably had to gain like 500 pounds.
What's his face? Brian Cox, he confuses me because this guy goes on, capitulates all the time about how other people are. He technically caps about how everybody else is a shit actor and not an artist. And then he plays fucking Brando in a made-for-TV Michael Jackson anthology episode.
Okay.
And he does fucking McDonald's commercials.
People need to get off Brian Cox's jock because he's a 90-year-old man or whatever the fuck he is. He's a grump, and he's always been a grump. And sometimes we got to have those. Okay?
So you're pro Cox.
I love Cox, and I gotta say, no, don't isolate that. Don't take that out of context.
Remix that into a song.
No, listen, I'm not. I do think he needs to like
chill. Just chill.
I heard somebody, but yes, he probably needs to. But I also heard somebody, another podcaster of a genre that has nothing to do with film, because we're the only one, talking about Brian Cox. They kind of made a good point, which is like, okay, everybody enjoys Brian Cox's output. Like everybody likes to see him on screen. Yet we keep allowing him to put his foot in his mouth. Mm-hmm. So maybe they just need to leave him alone. Like maybe they should just stop asking him questions, because his opinions are highly they're sus.
I think he just likes. Yeah, he wants this. He wants the spotlight. He wants people to ask him questions. Yeah, just don't ask him anything.
Just don't ask him questions anymore.
Well, then he'll just release him. Let him release his books. Let him release all the books he wants, but don't ask him anything.
And you've been around since fucking ancient times as an actor. You're going to have some antiquated takes, and you're going to have seen some shit. And also, if you're the voice of McDonald's, you're going to have a high opinion of yourself, you know?
I just want to know how many takes he wants to do.
Oh, I bet he rolls in and he's like, "We've got 20 minutes. Let's do this." I don't know why he sounds like
I think he cares a lot. I think he does 2-hour sessions. He cares about the performance. Do you think he's ate McDonald's?
Well, you know, it's funny. I was on a different program. Also, like I said, not having to do anything in the film because, again, there is no such thing. But I was on a related program, and we were talking about actors who we can't picture doing everyday things. Like I think I brought up Charles Dance.
Yeah.
And I was saying, like, I can't imagine, like, Charles Dance. I can't imagine him, like, standing in line at Best Buy, like, waiting to buy batteries. Or, you know what I mean? And I can't imagine, because I think
Brian
it came
Cox
up because,
like Target.
Well, yeah, I think that's why it came up, because, like, the host of that other program was like, I can't imagine Brian Cox, like, sitting in a drive-through, you know, like waiting for drive-through food, you know. There's just certain actions that I can't imagine certain actors doing. I can't imagine like Meryl Streep going to like a Dave & Buster's. You know what I mean?
I could vision that more than, I get your concept. I can envision that more than a Charles Dance or a Brian Cox. I can see her getting down at the Dave & Buster's bar.
Like I can't imagine like a young Dame Judi Dench like playing laser tag. You know what I mean? I can't imagine Melissa McCarthy at a water park.
Wow, canceled.
Just saying. What? I didn't say anything.
Body shaming.
You're whatever. No, I think that she's got an aversion.
She
to
just
water,
can't swim.
Right? Yeah. Wow. Whoa. Now what are we revealing about ourselves?
Prove me wrong. Never seen her swim.
But we mentioned ancient history, Mr. Frank, and I think that's going to thrust us directly into our show. What show? You might ask, and I might answer, Caskins Type, a show where we examine the pathology of the mob as it pertains to the world of cinematicals.
Cinnamon.
Where we look across the filmic discourse and attempt to restore some sanity. We do this in one of two different ways. One, by unpacking the ideas and assertions we stumble across out there in the media, be it social or otherwise, while occasionally subjecting ourselves to mysterious media oddities. And two, by spinning the reel of scopophilia, where we let fate decide on a series of film-related exercises that aren't in no goddamn way related to meaningless grabs for content. We mentioned ancient history, and I guess, you know, this is the segment of our show where we confront the media, where we face it bravely, boldly. Sometimes we find an article we want to react to, or just like a take, like a hot take that's just too juicy to ignore.
And apparently that's everybody else can't ignore.
Today, I think we're doing something a little different. I guess I kind of just want to have a discussion about the state of the zeitgeist as it pertains to news, reactions to trailers, reaction to casting, reaction to everything about Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Oh boy.
I almost hate to do it, because I guarantee you, if you go on YouTube right now and go down the rabbit hole of like takey cinematic content creators, I guarantee that it is already such a fucking saturated topic.
It's not even that though. It's like legit like news establishments are writing about it and are freaking out just as much.
That's right. But so I guess I kind of want to I just want to have a little round table where we kind of try and figure out what's going on here. I want by the end of this discussion to have figured out what the fuck is happening. Why is this happening?
Well, I don't think.
Where is it happening?
Yeah, man.
Who is it happening to? Who is it happening from? Let's start with one very, very important and respected person.
Like former President Obama,
sort of like that,
somebody like
but more reputable,
the Pope or somebody.
Really, no, I want you to think like deep thinkers, brilliant men. It's always men, just like a real, I don't know, a maverick. I want to say a real go-getter. Lifted himself up by his bootstraps. Never had a leg up in life. Born on not even on home base. Born on deck. Just a guy who's just down to earth. He's just a down to earth guy. He's relatable. That's what I would describe. He's a guy that
somebody in film. Somebody in film.
You just no.
I was going to say maybe like Spielberg or maybe like Scorsese. Somebody that knows what they're talking about.
Think bigger, and somebody who reached for the stars so aggressively that he became the world's richest man.
Oh man,
because he just wanted it that badly. That's right,
Mr. Ellen
Elmo Frost.
I forgot that was his villain name.
Our
Elmo
villain.
Frost. What did he fucking say?
I feel like he's got the most level-headed reactions to everything Odyssey.
And he clearly is a Homer expert. Knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's something that rhymes with Homer.
What is he saying?
I gotta, I'm concerned about Christopher Nolan and his prospects, his future prospects. I don't know if he was going to be able to get a film made after this because Elmo, who is one of the preeminent thinkers really in our current society, has only produced great things
and zero movies,
and has never harmed anyone through his actions, words, deeds, or ketamine addiction.
No, he always wants the best for the peoples.
Yeah, Chris, I think your days are numbered because Elon's bashing,
bro.
He's alleging that Nolan cast Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy because he wants the awards. And you know what? He's got to be right about this, right? That's got to be the only reason.
The awards that Nolan and Nyong'o have already won. Other awards.
No, they're still chasing. They're still chasing
the awards they already have.
Think about it this way. I mean, Cuba Gooding Jr. only won one Oscar. And we saw what happened to him after that.
So Christopher Nolan's no better than
he's basically Cuba. He's basically Cuba.
CGJ.
That's right. So think about it. You win one award. That's cute, right? But let's face it, it's not enough. It's not enough.
So what do you do to win that second award? You cast.
You go full DEI, bro. You go full DEI. You go woke or go broke. Okay. Elon Musk on Twitter, May 13th, responding to some fucking turd that says, "Here I am, reading Homer's Odyssey directly from the Greek text and thinking about how much Christopher Nolan disrespected us. Don't pay for the movie. Resist this slowly dying agenda that is rotting our societies. Hollywood is dead." So Elmo reposted that and then says, "And grossly insulted the Greek people. Shame on him." May 16th, End Wokeness says, what? Retweeted by Elmo Frost, says, "Why does an actor's race matter? ? Okay, now imagine it was this." And then he goes on to post a series of photos. One is a Barack Obama biopic starring Ryan Gosling. The other is a Nelson Mandela biopic starring Anthony Hopkins. Here we've got 12 Years a Slave starring Viggo Mortensen. We have a Muhammad Ali biopic starring Marky Mark. Another Martin Luther King biopic starring Ryan Gosling, and another Obama biopic starring Christian Bale. Now, Can't you see how these examples are just like what is happening in the Odyssey, Matthew?
Yeah.
Because crucially, and this is crucial, much like the Bible and Mother Goose and Grimm, much like the Lord of the Rings and other historical texts of these natures,
they're all real people.
The Iliad and the Odyssey, both real history, true history,
truest.
Nothing mythological about them.
Apparently, there were Cyclops back then.
Can I tell you? Yeah, that's the other thing. The Cyclops that they cast for this, unbelievable race traitorism. Let's just let's just take the Martin Luther King starring Ryan Gosling as an example. Can you think of a difference between maybe casting Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy? Between the difference between that and, I don't know, casting Ryan Gosling as Martin Luther King. I don't know.
It's almost, I mean, if we want to even
think of it, it's like any single difference.
If we want to take this if we even want to attack this seriously, you can there is no, the Martin Luther King story is real, and it has to do with race, and it has to do with his life. And Helen of Troy is it's fake history, has nothing to do with the race. She can be whatever the artist wants her to be. It's a blank canvas.
But Homer described her as blonde hair, blue-eyed.
Wasn't she also
her
like a
titties
child?
Were D plus, double D plus. Buxom and fecund, I believe. It probably is how I described her. I don't know. Juicy. That's the word he used to describe her in the book. Juicy.
Bussin'.
Straight bussin'.
That was Homer's literal terms.
Helen
be bussin'.
He called her a thirst trap. And you know what? When is Christopher Nolan going to get on board with Sydney Sweeney? God damn it.
Jesus Christ.
Beautiful Aryan goddess. When? What are we going to do without Sydney Sweeney starring in every single fucking thing? We haven't heard enough from her, Matt.
I think she's done.
We don't have enough. No, we don't have enough Sydney Sweeney content. We need more. We need more of her. We need more buxom Sydney Sweeney content. We need to see her bouncing around everything. We need to see her dangling out of every outfit.
Yeah, so we can't have any person of color in the Odyssey because they didn't exist.
Not only did they not exist, but they weren't. Well, they certainly didn't exist back then.
No.
Yeah, I mean, imaginary people can't just be played by anyone.
Yeah. Do you think these people? When's the last time you think these people actually read Homer?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask when the last time they fucked.
That too.
I certainly don't think Elmo Frost has read Homer. I certainly don't think 90% of the people that are replying to him with like racist grok photoshops have read Homer.
Yeah. Do you think they're also watching? They're reading Hillbilly Elegy, and then I'm going to read the Iliad right after this. Get the fuck out of here.
Sure.
There's so much to address with this fucking movie and just this one example.
I want to posit because we simply can't attack every fucking crazy response that's already happening to this film.
Yeah, there's too much, and it's ridiculous.
There's too many, and it's like, so first of all, people have a problem with the casting, but it's like, people are hyped for this, right? Like, aren't they? But I guarantee you it's going to like make $2 billion.
I mean, we've talked about this in sports terms, where it's like, to use the Warriors as an example, they win their first title in 2015. Everybody fucking loves them. Then they get Durant. They become the villains. Everybody wants to see their demise. It almost feels like this is happening with Nolan now, where everyone
if people
fucking
really wanted
Nolan.
to see Nolan's demise, and listen, look, we've had episodes of the show where we've even described Nolan as the dumb guy, smart guy. Yet still admit that we like Nolan. Hey,
I like Nolan films.
I'm gonna stump for his films. I enjoy watching them plenty. They're not particularly. There's not as much going on under the hood as one might be led to believe by the discourse. But I think it's still okay to go, hey, perfectly watchable films. And hey, I'll even go further than that. Quite watchable. In fact, man knows how to make a film.
Yeah.
Does he always know how to speak to the best and brightest? Not necessarily. Do we need that all the time? I would much rather have Nolan's version of populism than like James Cameron's current version of populism, which is to just say like, make it pretty, jangle your keys at him. But
like his movies always get a lot of like he teases out his movies in very cryptic ways. He gets a lot of people pay attention to it. A lot of people dissect it. But for some reason, this movie's getting even more. And is it just because it's a period piece? I don't understand. Okay. Is that literally it?
I do, again, like we just mentioned, we can't possibly skin the cat that is the weird phenomenon of everybody having an opinion about this thing. Mm-hmm. But I can posit a few potential theories about why there is so much wheel spinning about this fucking movie. So first of all, Nolan's films have just become event films.
That's been the case for the last few films. This is not new.
Of course. It's been the case since Batman Begins.
Yeah.
So that's fine. That's not new. I do think that he's wading into a very specific kind of incel territory because there is this very weird thing, this weird obsession with dudes that like manosphere dudes, dumb male Oprah types, that may or may not frequent the mothership in Austin, Texas, that are like obsessed with the Roman Empire.
I was going to say, is this like a 300 thing?
And I think that they're too stupid to realize that the Greeks are not the Romans, but B, I do think that like there is this like weird incel coded subculture of like every weird unfuckable chud thinking that they should be living this like austere life, this stoic austere life grounded in like the ancient texts. You know what I mean? And I mean that seriously. Like I think there is a large cohort.
Well,
and
they just see knights in cool armor and swords and are like, that's macho. That's what I want to be. That's something I like.
I think there is something also. There's like this pseudo intellectual thing that has come out of like a lot of this manosphere podcast bullshit of like, if you want to be based, you've got to be a student of philosophy. Don't go to college. Become a student of philosophy instead for free at the library.
None of them are reading that shit. None of them are reading.
No, exactly. They're listening to dumb guys that sound well read or claim to be well read online that talk about this stuff as if they know what they're talking about. And I think that is like a certain kind of guy, and I think it's a more ubiquitous than we think. I think there's a lot of guys out there that are like, I'm a student of the humanities, but not like that gay college shit. I'm like a real man. Like I go out and I hunt, and then I come home and I read Homer, which they don't.
Well, then you mix that with the Nolan bro aspect of it, and you have this fucking mishmash of just over
because you've already had like overly opinionated Nolan bros.
Yeah.
And then you plague that water with like this weird, I don't even know if it's manosphere, but it's like this weird like libertarian coded, I'm gonna be above the system, not part of it. Like this like this thing where it's like, again, there's this really stupid trend in society and in politics, in American politics, in American civic discourse, not to get too fucking political, but like there's this really stupid fucking trend where it's like, we can subvert college. It's like we were talking about with film school. We can subvert the old paradigm and we can just read a bunch of books. In fact, we don't even need to read books. We can just listen to men talk about the books.
We can watch a YouTuber talk about Homer and the differences and compare the trailer to what Homer was trying to do.
We're going to become based humanities students. We're not going to be like the woke humanities students out there with all their soft reading and reading subtext and mining historical texts and trying to search for actual clues about the meaning of existence. And no. I'm just going to find somebody that just learned CapCut yesterday.
Well, you know what they can do? They can go watch the fucking Brad Pitt Troy movie if they want, which apparently is getting like a second light that people are fucking loving and think is a masterpiece now.
You want to talk about Brian Cox? Hey, have fun. Have fun with that film. Have fun deluding yourself that is a quality film.
That's happening.
Now listen.
That is happening online.
It's not the worst thing that's ever happened.
No.
Okay? I don't dislike the film per se.
I enjoyed it, but it's not a masterpiece.
Let's not talk about it like it's suddenly a fucking classic, okay?
Yeah, no.
It's just fine. Hey, maybe it's even good. It's only slightly good.
But everyone's white, so it must be true.
Everyone is white.
It must
That's
be better.
True. That's true.
It must be best.
Can't deny it.
And Brad Pitt is
Viggo
speaking in an
Mortensen.
accent, even though
12
it
Years
makes
Slave.
no sense.
Okay, so that's one thing that's going on. But there's just like all these. Suddenly, there's all these armchair historians now. Let's just go through a few of the controversies. So we just mentioned the Elmo Frost and his problem, and that's bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so can you explain to me what this accent controversy is?
That they're just talking, that all the actors, especially Matt Damon, white guys are all the same,
Matt Damon.
are just using their regular voices, and they're not talking in any accent whatsoever to reflect the times or the cultures of the characters they're playing. And people are losing their fucking mind over it. And listen, I understand what they're saying. I understand that with a lot of films, but let's not kid ourselves in thinking that this doesn't happen all the fucking time in Hollywood movies. Let's not kid ourselves and say that we watched Chernobyl and it's okay that they speak in fucking British accents when this happens all the time. So why is it a big deal with this movie, especially when this is not real history?
We covered this a little bit on our Napoleon discussion, because there's a lot of British motherfuckers rolling around in that film with British accents instead of French ones. A couple things going on here. So I think I literally did see somebody Skeet rather, that they were deeply upset that Matt Damon was not speaking his lines in an Ionian accent. Matthew, can you give me your best Ionian accent right now?
Not even going to try.
No, give it a shot.
No.
What? Come on.
I got nothing. You can give the
you
people
can't
what
do
they
a
want.
perfect Ionian for everyone can do an Ionian accent. That's like asking for, hey, you want to do an Italian accent? You have to mamma mia. It's like everyone's got a fucking default. Everyone's got a default Ionian accent.
I don't have
right?
one, but I expect the whole cast of the Odyssey to.
Okay, fine. You don't have one, but I mean, surely,
Matt Damon
Matt
should.
Damon, who is clearly like the most Mediterranean man on the planet. Surely he has one up his sleeve.
I mean, he's an actor. All actors should just be able to do that.
Well, all actors should be able to conjure dead Greek intonations on a whim. And not only that, they should be able to read Latin.
I was going to say, they should just speak Latin.
Absolutely. Hey, you know who would have done this right? I guarantee, I don't know if this interpretation is out there, but I guarantee you somebody has posted this somewhere more than once. You know who would have got this right? You know who would have got this all? You know who would have done this the right way? My main man Mel.
Oh, I'm sure.
My main man Mel.
I'm sure somebody is
Hey,
touting that.
hey, Passion of the Christ, bro. You hear any English getting thrown around in there? I don't. Hey, Apocalypto, homie. You hear any English getting thrown around there? You hear any British accents getting thrown around in there, tossed around in there? I don't, bro.
No, he's just a cool dude that knows how to honor cultures.
Oh,
all
I'm
cultures,
sorry.
and all religions.
So Jimmy Caviezel, America's sweetheart, can learn Aramaic, but you're telling me that Matt Damon can't? Gross, bro. You clearly haven't read enough Aristotle.
Do you think those same people are going to go immediately to the theater when this comes out?
Absolutely. And they're going to go and they're going to fucking love it. And they're going to be so mad that they love it. And they're going to come home and they're going to make a ticking and a talking, and they're going to they're going to fire up CapCut. That's right. I'm taking shots.
It doesn't matter that it's fine. It's a masterpiece. It doesn't need that.
No, it's not. That's not going to be the defense. They're going to strain to, and hey, listen. Maybe the fucking movie's a big goddamn mess. I don't know if you've ever read the Odyssey. It's kind of a sprawling tale. Maybe they're not gonna stick the landing. Maybe they're not gonna do a great job.
Well, that's my other thing is not to overstep you, but like Nolan has not proven to make a bad film yet. And that's not to say that he won't. But
he's made some dumb films, but never like a truly bad one. Even like Tenet, which is bizarre.
Yeah, there's bones to it.
Well, I heard an interesting theory about Tenet, actually, which was that like Christopher Nolan got so much backlash in his career as like being too highly expositional. So he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to make a movie where I don't tell you what's happening.
Which that's pretty great
anyway.
If that's true. But because of that, he hasn't given anybody evidence that he's made a very, very bad movie or even a nearly bad movie. And people are just shitting on this for no reason and not trusting the guy that has made good movies and has proven that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, like, I mean, again, we could quibble about the quality of his work. I think at the very least you should be able to say that he's competent. Yeah, maybe he'll pull an Andy Serkis and just change the ending for no reason.
But we're also talking about a text that people didn't give a shit about until it was announced he was making. That doesn't mean that people don't like it or it hasn't been passed on or it's not considered a great piece of literature. But in our current culture, how many times have you gone to a bar and people are like, "Oh man, I just read the Iliad. It was really cool." That's not a thing that happened. And then all of a sudden it's announced he's making the fucking movie and it's like sacred literature to everybody.
Well, I do think that the Iliad is among the kind of ancient texts that have kind of repurposed themselves or have like continually been recycled throughout the ages. That's one of the more accessible ones. Like it's a lot easier to read the Odyssey because it's been retranslated a million times. So it's more colloquial than like Beowulf. Go and try and read Beowulf. It's a tougher read than like the Odyssey, right? So I do think there's something accessible about those that like makes it easier for like your typical bro to like pick it up and like trying to make heads or tails of it. It's also pretty literal. Like I don't think there's like a whole hell of a lot of subtext going on there. Like it's pretty much like a narrative where everything that is happening is literally meant to be happening. It's not supposed to be a metaphor for anything. Mm-hmm. So there's that element to it, which might draw stupid guys to it. Like,
but I just don't think it was like it's some pinnacle in our current culture before it was announced he was making the movie. Like again, it's not that people don't know about the Odyssey, but like how many people are just going around talking about the Odyssey?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I just can't get my head around. I think it has to be related to like some kind of internet subculture. There have been plenty of historical dramas that have come out that have been inaccurate. Yeah. And the Odyssey is not even historical. Like it's
yeah, like I get the fervor around a Lord of the Rings film. The Odyssey, like that's just not in the current zeitgeist. Okay, like, so people aren't jabbering about the Odyssey outside of this film being made.
What's weird is like, where's all like the like my brother, where art thou backlash? You know what I mean? Like, why aren't people mad at that movie? That movie's just the Odyssey. People love that movie. It's just Odyssey in bluegrass form.
Well, it's probably because it's like, yeah, it's told in a different way. It's not the true tale of the Odyssey.
So why can't Chris Nolan just say, "Hey, this is my interpretation"? Just like the Coen brothers said, "Hey, this is our interpretation of the Odyssey." Does Christopher Nolan literally have to have a press conference where he says, "This is my interpretation of this story"?
I think so, because people are freaking out about like the helmet. This just goes to point to like what a sad, dumb, uninteresting culture we live in. The idea that needs to be spoken out loud for it to be acceptable for somebody to have their own take on an old text is just ridiculous. These aren't even historians talking about this. These are fucking me and you being like, we know best. We know the helmet wouldn't look like that. It's like
historians aren't going to talk about it because it's mythology.
Yeah,
it's not real.
But it's even like if a historian was like, in this time, it would likely look like this. They're not saying this is what Odysseys wore, but there would be some
the
reason
Cyclops might have looked like this and stuff like this.
Yeah, but it's me and you being like in ancient Greek, this is actually the spoon that they would use. This is what the spoon would be made of. It's like, we don't fucking know what we're talking about.
Exactly. And also, again, I can't stress this enough. In the Odyssey, everything magic. There's magic everywhere.
It's
magical.
It's Greek mythology.
If fucking Matt Damon has a sword and it's like looks modern or it looks like a lightsaber let's say it's just like a big pink dildo, like on a handle, just flopping around, and that's why he's whapping the Cyclops with it. Whatever. The Cyclops falls asleep and he just rams it home. Mm-hmm. So apparently that Cyclops sleeps a lot. If I remember my Odyssey.
Actually, he doesn't sleep that much. He actually only sleeps.
Oh, shit.
He only sleeps 3 hours. This movie's a joke.
I'm sorry. We have a Jordan Peterson lecture just got let out across the street. Sorry about that, folks. Let's say they do something like that. Let's say they literally like give him like a rocket pack. Give him like a rocket pack, and he's like halfway through. They don't even explain it. He's just wearing Air Jordans. You know what I mean? Let's say that happens. Odyssey is a story about magic. It's magical. It's a magic story.
It's not that magic though.
No, it's magic. So that's true. And then sometimes you don't understand. There's the real magic and then the fake magic. This is what's about real magic.
Well, it's like
whatever you want.
It's like the people who bitch about like inconsistencies in Superman when it's a story about a fucking alien that flies.
Nah, dog, because Superman fake. This real. This real happened.
This is. I think that's sadly a big part of this is that people actually are taking this as fact. This story is fact.
I do think, and I also do believe that this is, I don't think it's uniquely American, but I bet it's a largely American phenomenon. Now, we just saw an example of a Greek man that claims to be incensed. And you know what? Go eat some baklava, sir.
Wow.
But, well, he's Greek. I guess maybe I'll just leave off on this because we can't keep going round and round on it.
No.
I feel like what the thing you need to take away from it is there's a subculture of people that are desperately grabbing, searching for any kind of meaning in their life. And one of the ways you do that is by establishing a common mythology, by having traditions. And the Odyssey is an old tale. It's an old text, and everybody's just got to have their interpretation of the way that it's supposed to be, and it's a text that was foisted on people. A lot of people were made to read it, and it'd just be like if they make Catcher in the Rye and they cast America's biggest villain, Elliot Page.
He can never be Achilles.
Oh God!
Which
that's another thing I noticed.
That he's playing Achilles.
That's another thing I noticed about this. I have noticed that like there is a lot of people are obsessed with Elliot Page.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these dudes. What is the obsession?
They want to kiss him. Maybe they just want to smooch Elliot Page. Maybe that's it.
Okay. Like they didn't have a problem with Tilda Swinton playing like the angel Michael or they don't have Michael. You're in her hand. They don't have a problem when like some hot lady plays an Andrew Gine.
Oh, she hot.
But okay. What is so maybe Elliot Page handsome. Handsome.
He handsome. Brad Pitt.
Maybe Elliot Page makes you feel.
But that's another thing. Is like if you want Brad Pitt as Achilles, just go fucking watch Troy. And again, it's not even confirmed that he's playing Achilles. No one's confirmed that.
Also, I'm gonna throw this out there right now. I've read the Iliad a few times. I'm certainly not an expert, but I think this subtext is pretty clear. Achilles, kind of gay.
Yeah, yes.
And that's kind of what rules about it.
Actually gay.
Actually pretty gay. And you know what? I think that rules. But I don't know if the manosphere would agree with me.
But that also is proof that these fuckers are not reading shit at all. Because anybody that has read the book knows that.
So at a certain point in the Odyssey, I will leave off on this. The crew, the ship, it runs afoul of what mythology is described as sirens. These are mythological creatures that they sing, and it draws you in, and you lose your mind. In sake of everything else, you find yourself drawn to them until it's too late. I guarantee you, whoever they cast as the sirens, should they even make an appearance, I'm going to throw it out here right now. I'm putting it out into the ether. I already know. We know. Whoever it is, it could be Sydney Sweeney, their poster child. It could be the most Aryan, milky white person you could possibly imagine. The palest of the pale. The most Aryan stock you can possibly imagine that could be goose-stepping throughout the film. Nothing comes between me and my Calvins. Or whatever the fucking... she could literally come skiing in. They're going to have a fucking problem with whoever it is. But
they're not hot enough.
If God fucking forbid one of them happens to be, if they bring their Home Depot color paint wheel and hold it up to the screen and it's like 13 degrees south of taupe, oh boy, get ready for the crying that's going to happen. Such cries like you've never heard before.
So much cry. It's true.
I don't think we've gotten to the root of what's going on, but I think we've fleshed out a few potentially interesting theories. But this is the world we live in.
I know.
These are the people. And by the way, you listening right now, you may consider yourself above all this. You may consider yourself a student of the world. You may believe that this kind of controversy can't touch me. I roll in sophisticated circles.
Oh, it can touch you.
There's somebody that you know and interact with frequently. Not just somebody, more than one somebody, multiple somebodies that you interact with frequently that holds views like this. It's important for you to know.
Absolutely.
We always want to try to come to some public service announcement with this segment. I guess the only advice I can offer up for this particular phenomenon is try to isolate the guys in your life that have extreme views about the Odyssey, and then do what you must with that information. That's the PSA that I have for people.
Just everybody needs to calm down. That's my advice. Just calm down and watch a movie that will probably be pretty fucking cool. That is about fake stuff, and go outside. Maybe talk to some people in your life. Maybe go have some fun. Maybe get away from a screen.
Maybe. I think we've done everything we can with this. It's time to spin the reel and get the fuck out of here.
Let's do it.
They're growing old and yet you're still here. Do what I say and you'll see them again. Yes, sir! Diomedes will lead the charge. Agamemnon will flank the guards. Menelaus will let our men through the gates to take the whole city.
Okay, it's been a while since we landed on this one. This was How Old Is Age? Which I think we were, at some point, we were trying to phase this out. But we still have a bank of How Old Is Age material to get.
Okay, I'm interested, though. We haven't done this one in a while. Let's see what we got.
Here's an article that one of us stumbled across back in April.
I think this was you.
From a periodical called The Ankler.
I've never heard of this before.
Nope. Never. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna read the Ankler agenda. Let's go there. About us. Ankler Media is an independent multi-platform media company covering the business of Hollywood and the evolving intersection of entertainment, media, and technology. This feels like it was written by AI. Mm-hmm. Its reporting cuts through an industry spin to deliver news. Oh no, I hate when that's never a good sign when they say they're cutting through the spin.
This is giving me what's that dude's name? Matt Belloni.
Okay.
What's
Bellamy?
This is giving me the same vibe as his stuff.
Well, this site has been described by the New York Times as a, quote, buzzy newsletter that circulates through Hollywood C-suites. So, relatable to everyone.
Look at this guy picture. Is that a corduroy jacket?
Yeah, maybe.
It is. Oh my God.
He looks like Titus Welliver's sad alcoholic brother.
Richard Rushfield.
Go get it, Richard. So, we discovered this in the Ankler, and it makes an interesting... It posits an interesting idea, and I think that we can take it as fact.
This correlates pretty closely with our first topic, but go on.
It does and it doesn't. But this I think this correlates. I think that there is something to this. The article is called "Cigarettes Get a Sequel. Hollywood's cool bad habit is back. People are stressed out of their fucking minds as the industry lights up again." They go on to describe a host of ways that cigarettes are popping back up in Hollywood. Now, there's a few ways that they describe this.
So not only with the actors and in the movies, they're talking about literally Hollywood, like the area of LA.
That's right. On a recent evening at private club The Living Room in Hollywood, which is a weird place, cigarette smokers were scattered around the garden-like outdoor bar. No one appeared to bat an eye as they lit up. Where there's smoke, there's smoking. A growing cohort of young celebs, from heated rivalry stars Hudson Williams and Connor Story to Addison Rae, I Love LA star, creator Rachel Sennett, have been photographed puffing at or holding old school tobacco cigarettes. First of all, who calls cigarettes old school tobacco cigarettes? Providing plenty of fodder for the Instagram account Sigfluencers, which chronicles famous contemporary smokers. Okay, so first of all, this wasn't exactly news to me, but it's recent news to me. That there is a subculture online tracking the smoking habits of famous people. Now, of course, this is mostly like a TikTok bullshit, but it is just a thing. It is just a thing that has happened. The tobacco use of famous people is being tracked aggressively online. So that's weird.
But not as weird as the reason why people are smoking, at least to me.
Well, okay, I want to get back to that. But so that's one aspect of this, is that actually people are their smoking habits are being tracked.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and what would you say are the reasons why they're being tracked?
Yeah, let's tackle it this way then. We'll get into the other elements of like how this is a thing popping up in a second. Why would I say that this is being tracked? Well, I think it's just another way to garner attention. If you need an idea for how to, I don't know, grow whatever your fucking content brand is online, it's certainly a unique element. I can't think of anyone else that was doing this like a year ago or so. But that being said, I mean,
you can build a page of a bunch of smoking cigarette photos, but why would you do that unless you think that people are going to like seeing those, I guess?
Basically, it's a lot easier for somebody to be an amateur paparazzi than it was at any time in history.
True.
So not only are celebrities being photographed by actual paparazzi, but everyone has a 30 megapixel phone in their pocket. And it's simply easier to get a snapshot of people smoking now. So there's that. I mean, well, so you seemed like you had a theory about the first element of this. Tell me what's on your mind.
I think that people are gathering these photos because they know that people think that people on Pinterest, people on Instagram that are reposting these or putting these on or looking at them think that they look cool, that these celebrities look cool smoking and the photos look cool, and which feeds into one of the main reasons why people are actually picking up smoking. And it says it in the article is that I think it looks cool. That's why I do it.
That has always been a thing.
But
right?
it's but the
it's
thing
always
is
been a thing.
But in the past there wasn't as much research that smoking was bad. So these idiots are saying, we know it's bad and I don't necessarily really like it, but it makes me look cool. And so I'm doing it.
Yes. Well, I guess then let's just go straight into why that might be. And the article references this. Just among Gen Z and younger, this is becoming popular again. We can argue back and forth about the balkanization of their attention and the ways that younger people are, despite having access to all of the information in the world, getting dumber. Potentially, we could point to a lot of things like that. I'm going to let them off the hook. I'm going to say that it's possible that they are smart enough to know that they have no future. And if you have no future, you might as well light them if you got them.
Listen, okay, so I get what you're saying, but this article is giving a bunch of examples. All these people that this guy interviewed are giving a bunch of different examples that I don't believe are necessarily true. So you mentioned this. You mentioned that some people have said that the industry is shit and they're stressed out and the jobs they have are driving them crazy and they need to smoke cigarettes just to kind of have a release. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but that's one of the reasons. The other reason was that it's a way of networking, apparently, that all these stressed people, and I'll get to my point.
I think both of those things can be true, but okay, go
ahead.
They
can be true, but I'm calling bullshit on that being those being main reasons. I think the main reason is that they want to look cool. That's my takeaway from this article, is that all of those are bullshit reasons to cover the fact that they just want to look cool at 4100 in LA.
Listen, I do think, God, you're really just cutting me. You're cutting me.
It's true though. Like, listen,
okay.
Are there people that actually are stressed and are smoking a cigarette because they need a drag? Sure. Are there opportunities to smoke a cigarette with somebody that you can get a job from? Fine. But I don't think that that's what the majority of these people are doing.
I do think you're right about that in a sense. I do think it's easier to be pressured into smoking by an influencer than it ever has been. Like, I think if you're a young person and some influencer is like popularizing the act of smoking, it's a lot easier to be roped into that by whatever weird hypnosis that the influencer crowd has on young people than TV or films were ever capable of doing. So there's always been people smoking movies. There's always been people smoking TV. There's been a bit of a nadir of it in TV, just because everything on TV kind of has to be family friendly. But even that is turning around with like prestige TV. We are seeing more cigarettes in our content, and this article goes on to talk about that. We're seeing it more in the movies. So this references Sinners. It references One Battle After Another. This is an older article. It is popping up in pop culture more.
So I will let the people off the hook because of that, because you're right. They're impressionable. these are younger generations. They're influenced by the people they watch and they see. So my next question to you is movies and whatever period pieces that happens. But why are these celebrities all of a sudden posing in magazines with them? Why is it part of their brand now? So we talked about the reasons why the us normies are using it. It's the stresses, the pressure, all that stuff. That makes sense to me. But why is Kylie Jenner all of a sudden posing with cigarettes and all these celebrities doing that?
But I will get to that. Before we move on from that, I do have to say that. So I am a person that used to smoke cigarettes. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just saying that for the. Listen, now I'm just gonna say potentially, because we might actually live in a dystopian hellhole where like a bot from a fucking insurance person is gonna like listen to this one day and be like, he is ineligible. I'm just saying that. I didn't really used to smoke, but like hypothetically, I used to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
If there were any vice that I could pack full of vitamins, it would be that one, because they look. It really is a stress reducer. Nicotine really is. I don't want to say it's good for it, but it enhances certain things about your cognitive functions. And when this mentions networking, I don't think it's literally that like, oh, the boss of like, oh, Larry Ellison smoking a cigarette. You know, he's an alien, but like, I still want to work at Paramount, so I'm gonna go smoke right next to him and see if that opens the door for me. I think it's more that like a smoke break in the middle of your day you can forge friendships over a smoke break, and believe me, that is a thing that can happen. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what it's more referencing the possibility of. I do think that stuff is more in play than you might think. And also, look, in a world where everything costs $1 trillion more than it did last year, where like a cocktail now costs like $28, like you can't even drive any fucking place. I had the misfortune of like going down to the fucking OC last week, and like $60 later, I was like, holy shit, I only went 10 miles, So in a world where you're being priced out of even like the minor things you enjoy, a pack of cigarettes is expensive, but you got 20 some bitches in there. And if you need just need a little 3-minute vacation from reality, smoke break can do that for you.
But you also, did you enjoy it though? Like, you enjoy the taste?
I don't know if it's about the taste, but you enjoy the sensation at a certain point.
Okay.
Okay. All that aside, I will agree with you that a big part of it is the image, just because of what we just discussed. You layer what was already in place, the new trend of just being absolutely hypnotized and having no object permanence. More than that, just the capacity to be absolutely hypnotized by influencer culture, who seems to be really interested in this behavior. So that makes it easier. But the second question of like, why is this happening? I don't know. Do you really think that celebrities are smoking more, or that we're just like seeing it?
The conspiracy side of me is thinking that the tobacco companies have stumbled upon something and are pushing it in some way, because it's happening.
I would not put that past them.
No, and that's why I'm bringing it up, because it's happening so swiftly and so out of nowhere. And you're right. All those reasons make sense on paper, but it just feels fishy. It feels out of nowhere. It feels like it's just the cool thing to do, and all these celebrities have picked it up. Like I looked at some of the photos of the Sigfluencer pages, and I was like, it looks like these celebrities don't even know how to hold a cigarette, and it's almost like for show.
I have seen a lot of. I was at the Angel City, had a party for their last day.
R.I.P.
And yeah, well, everyone's gonna miss it. But like, there are a lot of little Gen Z smokers, and a lot of them were holding their cigarettes like joints. I was like, this is weird, because if you're like trying to model like what looks cool, nobody's like holding a cigarette like a joint and looking cool. Like, I don't know.
I've never smoked in my life, and I know that's not how you hold it.
That's how Elmo Frost would smoke a cigarette.
He'd probably have a fucking the Corella DeVille pipe extended, or like cigarette extending shit.
I do think that this article is like trying to like put those pieces together and is not quite doing a great job. Honestly, if you are mainstream media, you got to find a way to make your shit more risque than what's happening online, which doesn't have rules. So like you mentioned Kylie Jenner being on like the cover of Vanity Fair smoking a cigarette. Why would Vanity Fair do this? Why would they promote that behavior? Well, they're dying.
Yeah, they need to do what's cool, and their research is probably showing this trend.
And I do think that like, look, yeah, I know that it sounds like me being flippant, I do think that like young generations know that they're fucked. I don't know. That's stressful.
Well,
Like,
there was one point that I think makes sense with what you're saying, and it was about the fact that the generations now, the Gen Alphas, the Gen Zs, didn't grow up in households that probably had smoking. So to them, it's this cool hip thing that is out of their grasp and is unknown. Whereas we grew up, and the generation above us grew up with parents that smoked all the fucking time, and then it was browbeat into our heads how bad it was, and so we kind of revolted against cigarettes, and now this new generation is revolting to them.
But this is also a thing that happens when you are faced with the enshittification of everything you love and care about.
Sure.
Is that what happens is society becomes more nostalgic. They become nostalgic for so-called better times. Doesn't actually mean they were better. This happened in the 80s with Reagan. Everybody became nostalgic for the 50s. You had stars like Billy Joel become popular, because like people were like, oh, we love doo-wop. When shit gets bad, like the absolute fucking worst people on the planet own and distribute and control everything, society becomes nostalgic for a past that may or may not have actually existed. But so I think we are seeing like a lot of looking back, and like we're seeing that in like pop culture, we're seeing a lot of period stuff. But like I think people are looking at old photos of stars and starlets that would have a cigarette dangling from their mouth. We've got movies like Sinners that are like harkening back to a different time. There used to be kind of a naivete about smoking. Frankly, you could be a celebrity that got away with having like a smoking habit and not being considered as like dirty or desperate or anything like that. I mean, hell, like fucking Obama, you smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
There is an element of nostalgia in it. And frankly, when you're in a country that's you're damned if you do, damned if you don't with your health, people are kind of like, yeah, well, why not? Fuck it. So look, the question now, having landed on this category on the reel, how will this age? I don't know how you think this is going to age. How do you think that, like, do you agree that this is a phenomenon at all? And if it is, how do you think it's going to age?
Listen, whether I agree with the reasons or I think that the people involved are fessing up to the real reasons or not, I do think that this is a phase that's happening. And I do think that it's going to be a trend. And I do think that it's going to have its place in history and these times. I think it will age just as much as the last cigarette push aged. It's probably going to be looked at as a little dumb, but like you're saying, there's going to be some thought behind it or some understanding. The next generation will revolt back against cigarettes. I think that this is just the ebb and flow of kind of culture in our times. And listen, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I drink. And I drink as a stressor sometimes, just like
what?
People have vices. So I can get the reaction I get the reaction to pouring a beer or a glass of wine when you've had a rough day. I just don't go to a cigarette. But that doesn't mean that other people don't see a cigarette as that release. I think the biggest shock is that it's so glamorized in magazines and with these celebrities and all that, because it makes sense that normal people would turn to these things. Like you said, it's cheap, it's accessible, it's there, it's nostalgic. But to see these brands and to see these celebrities pushing it as hard as possible means that they might have figured out what you just said, is that these younger people are jumping to it. And so maybe that was the first domino, was that these generations are going to them, and now these brands notice it and now are pushing it and feeding it more.
Yeah, well, and look, it also, you're not seeing like the classic sort of A-list celebrity flocking back to cigarettes. These are kind of like fringe actors and actresses, like
not to those generations though. Those are the big ones now.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is the establishment celebrities don't seem to have adopted this as much as, kind of more fringe, even if they are more popular, essentially, just by eyeballs. But it's not like establishment celebrities that are on this. And so listen, I guess the question, how will it age? I think it depends a lot on whether we will ever have hope again. And I know it sounds bleak, but like, I really mean that. I think that if we ever have hope at like a normal, quote unquote, normal society again, I don't mean like we're ever going to live in a utopia. Like, that's not going to happen. This country's too broken.
But if things normalize in a way,
if we ever have a shot at just like having like a life where we don't constantly have to be thinking about the crazy shit that's happening in the news, if there's ever like a shot at that happening ever again, I think then this fad, if it is a fad, will age badly. And people will, as you suggest, think of it as a dumb moment in our history where people were kind of giving up. And again, I'm not like an expert, but I do know this for sure. The thing that like everybody seems to agree on, like every single like medical professional, every single one. Some of them agree or disagree, like about drinking, about diet habits, about saturated fats, and like what cholesterol is good cholesterol, what's bad, blah, 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 even though the science on that's mostly figured out. But there can be disagreement there. There is no disagreement by any one doctor, even the weirdest fringe YouTube doctor is like, oh, Dr. Suck and Fuck or whatever. Like just whatever stupid ass internet personality that's out there that's like wants to be different and believes in power crystals. Fucking Dr. Oz would tell you. It's still like one of the worst things that you can do for yourself. It's like still like one of the worst behaviors that you can possibly engage in. And so if there's like a big generation of people that have like glommed onto them, I would have to imagine that's because there's some loss of hope.
Yeah,
so,
their mental state is not great right now.
And so I would imagine, maybe if you can magically pump some of that hope back in, just get a syringe full of hope and stick it into the IV of life, then maybe we in the future we'll look back at this and go like, that was stupid.
Or it's just a way to look back and think about how bad things were at that time.
Well, exactly. But that's what I mean. It's like if like things continue like on their current trajectory. And this is like regardless of your politics, because I don't think anyone's happy with what's going on right now. If things continue on their current trajectory, we might be like, oh, that was quaint. Mm-hmm. We might start lighting up. So this might really be a smoke 'em if you got 'em situation. You think the plane's going down, well, fucking light them up, and maybe if like the pilot writes the fucking plane, whoever that pilot ends up being, maybe, why is everyone smoking? Whew. Okay. Back to harmless booze.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know. That's what I got. It's hard to feel too seriously about this because, like, at the end of the day, if you want to do that, it's your body. Do what the fuck you want with it. And I say this as a person who, like, again, if I could load up one Vice with nothing but vitamin B, I would absolutely pump it into that Vice. But it's not a good idea. Yeah, I don't know. You got anything else for the anklers?
No, but I do think that you've given me.
Have I depressed you?
No, I think you've changed my mind a little bit on it. So I will give the youngins some slack.
Well, but yeah, and look, if you are doing it to look cool, there's better ways. There's better. Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, I guess that's gonna have to be a pod. CastAgainstType@gmail.com. Cast Against Type can be found on all of your podcatchers and pod thrashers, including Apple Pods, Spotify. We've had some issues with Spotify. We're going to try to work those out. But if you can't find us there, and you know what? They've always kind of been shitty. Spotify.
Just go to Apple Music.
Go to Apple Music. Go to Amazon. Go to Audible. Go to YouTube. Go to all the fancy places. iHeart. And if you want to skip all that shit, just load us into your RSS feed, which you can source at soundcloud.com/catpod. Please write into us and give us some content. Some continents. At Gmail, like I said, castagainsttype@gmail.com. Recommend. Give us the old reco. You know what? Spray us across the manosphere. That's always had good results.
Don't do that.
Oh, we would love that. That audience would just be right at home.
Oh yeah, our buddies.
Okay, I got nothing else. I'm gonna go drink till I can't feel feelings.
I'm gonna go get a pack of cigarettes. I think.
Yay! All right,
Bye.
folks. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
For those carcinogens, the lumberjacks you bought taste like cigarettes. Odd.